All right. Yesterday we gave a few messages from Hillel Zaken. We also talked, up to now, it's sort of been going in chronological order, but it seems over here it sort of skipped a little bit because we talked to Rabbeinu Yehuda Hanassi that he was after the destruction of the temple. And now we're jumping back to Hillel again, that he was before the destruction of the second temple. But in any case, okay, so we had a few lessons from Hillel. Remember, let's look at back last week. Hillel said, don't separate yourself from the congregation. Don't believe in yourself until your last day in the world. In other words, always have, don't be over certain of yourself. Don't judge other people until you reach their place, until you totally understand them. Don't say things that are impossible to understand, and that in the end you'll understand them. Don't talk in mysterious ways. Be clear, especially if you're a teacher. Don't say, when I have time, I'm going to learn Torah, because maybe you'll never have time. Remember, we learned about this yesterday. Let's do today's. Says Hillel. Hillel would say, Ein bor yirei chet. A person who is a ignoramus cannot fear sin. Now, what does that mean? We'll see. Velo ama oretz, and another word for an ignoramus, but this is a different type of an ignoramus. We'll see. He cannot be a chassid. All right, let's just take these first two here. What is Hillel trying to us? A boor, what's a boor here? Let's see. A boor is a person that is stupid. He's foolish. He hasn't got any wisdom, and he hasn't got any good character traits. He's just a very crass person. A person like that, he can't fear sin. What does it mean to fear sin? Fear sin, let's say for our practical purposes, means listen to your conscience. Fear sin means to listen to your conscience. That's not really what it means, but just fear means listen to your conscience. The Torah tells us what God wants from us. The Torah tells us what is absolutely good and absolutely bad. God is creating us. He's creating the whole world. So God is the manufacturer. This is the manufacturer's instructions. That's the Torah. But in order to follow the Torah, it's not the same thing as following the manufacturer's instructions for a washing machine or something like that. The washing machine is outside of you. Here it's talking about the manufacturer is manufacturing you and what you're supposed to do. So in order that I should know what I'm supposed to do, so I have to, number one, have a little bit of knowledge of what's supposed to do. And also I have to have a little bit of, intelligence, a little bit of an IQ, so that I'm aware of something outside of me. A person usually, that's what's called a boor, a person that has no, no intelligence. So all he knows is what he feels. He just has his own feelings. He doesn't know about anybody else. His own feelings that he's got, he thinks that that's all there is. So immediately he's not going to control his feelings just because of some ideas. Why should he do that? Why should he control himself? So that's what it means, a boor, a person who is not intelligent and also that doesn't have any good character traits. He's a very egoistical and crass person. So he can never really have any fear of God. He can't have any fear of doing the right thing. Because as far as he's concerned, there's no such thing as right things. It's just what I feel and what I want. Then there's the next level, an Amma Oretz. An Amma Oretz, that's a person that he does have good character qualities, but what? He's just not very intelligent. So a person like that, he will do what God wants, but he's not going to do more than what God wants. He's got some, so let's see here. This is the Bar Tanura says. A boor that he's rake, he hasn't got anything good. No good character traits, no intellect. This is worse than an Amma Oretz. Says a person like that, he's not going to ever think about doing what God wants. He only thinks about what he feels. And also, but on the other hand, an Amoritz, this is a person that he's not very intelligent, but he does have a fear of doing the wrong thing. He does have a person of very strong conscience. So this person, he can fear God, right? Not like a boor that has no fear of God. He will listen to what's right and wrong, because you can see that a lot of people like this, that they're very good at business. They could be big geniuses in business or whatever. But as far as Torah and commandments, and so to be a chassid, to do more than what's expected from him, an Amoritz is not going to. So in other words, a person that has no intellect and no good character traits, as he's not even going to have any connection with God. He doesn't care whatsoever. A person, on the other hand, that does have a little fear of God, but he just doesn't have a very good intellect. So a person like that, he's never going to do more. A chassid is a person that does more than what is expected of him. Lo abaishan lomed, a person who is ashamed. He is, how do you say, there's a better word for it, that he's, there's a better word for it. Anyway, a person that's ashamed. He's not ashamed is not a good word. He's quiet, right? I'll think of the word. There's a better word for it. But a person that's very quiet and he's very, how do you say, kept to himself, introverted, you want to call it. There's a better word. Lomed, he's not going to learn Torah. Why not? Because if you're sitting in class and he has a question, he's always too sort of timid. Timid, that's the word. A person who's too timid will never be able to learn Torah. Why? Because there's always questions. Questions are very good, but he's always too timid to ask. V'lo kaptan malamed. And now what about a teacher? A teacher who is a kaptan. A kaptan means a person that's very, very severe and exact on himself and on everyone. He can't stand the slightest mistake. A person like that he has a bad temper, he can never be a good teacher. Because as soon as someone asks him a question, he'll give him the answer, and he says, I don't understand. So he gets all angry at the person. What do you mean you don't understand? Right? I can't waste all my time with just you. I have a whole class over here. Lo kol amarbe b'schora machkin. A person like that, he can't be a teacher. He can destroy children's lives. He wants to teach children that they understand immediately. They doesn't have to work too hard. He's there to teach the Torah and not to deal with personalities. This is a terrible teacher. This is called a very bad teacher. He can't deal with anyone that doesn't accept him automatically. Lo kol amar bebeschora machkin. And not everyone who deals in business will become wise. Right here he says, the Torah is not on the other side of the sea. The Torah will not be found by those people who travel all around to make money on the other side of the sea, right? They're all traveling around, a fortune they make, but Torah they don't have it all. And finally, in a place where there are no people, you should be a human being. Different interpretations of that, what it means. We have the Rambam says like this: if you see that no one has good character traits, then you should work on yourself, that you should have good character traits. That you should accustom yourself, since there is no anyone who is wise. So what are you supposed to do? Then you have to teach yourself. That's what it means. Ishtadel Gavra Imei says that Yaakov fought with the angel, says that Ishtadel means he fought. So you have to fight in order to educate yourself. The Torah cannot be found in people that are egotistical or people that are selfish and not people that go far away and make money. Therefore, it says the Torah is not up in heaven and not on the other side of the sea. And the heaven means people that think that they're God. They bloat themselves up. The Torah can only be found in people that are very humble. Therefore, that's what it says. In a place where there are no people, nobody asks humans, so you have to be the one that does it. Here he says a little different. The Bartanura says in a place where there's no people to be leaders, so you have to be a leader. You have no choice. You have to take the reins, and you have to be the leader. Have a good day with Mashiach. Now, God willing, tomorrow morning, 8:15, we'll continue the Maimer and the Dvar Malchut.